Yaddle Chattle!
Yaddle Chattle.
Woo! It's a Star Wars podcast, baby! Oh my God! We're getting through the summer. We got 2 weeks until Ahsoka. Star Wars is buzzing. We got some controversy, Daddy. We got a lot of controversy, Jared. And we got updates, and we got news, and we got theories. Theories galore, funds galore. We have a rare Darth David. I was wrong.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
In fact, this is one of the most special Yaddle Chattle episodes you'll ever hear because Darth David is going to say the following words. I was wrong.
Oh, wow.
You will never hear those 3 words out of my mouth again. But let's get to who we are, baby. My name is Darth David. I represent the intelligent, passionate, furious, but fun side of the Star Wars universe. And here's Jedi Jared. Smart, quiet sometimes, which is interesting for a podcast. Good? Possibly. Today, Jedi Jared was good. And folks, do you know the reason why? Because he brought me macaroni and cheese, baby! Homemade macaroni and cheese, and I got a few meatballs in the fridge. So now all of a sudden, I got like a fucking beautiful summer picnic food. I get some potato salad, macaroni and cheese, a couple of meatballs. We're good to go. But Jared, I must thank you for the mac and cheese today. That was a surprise.
You are welcome.
And last week, or 2 weeks ago, was the pulled pork.
Yes.
2 weeks. You don't need to quibble on that shit. First of all, you need to sit close to see this thing?
Yes.
That's the microphone. Your face always needs to be in front of it. And I'm going to tell you why. You have a very soft-spoken voice sometimes.
I was going to try to project louder.
You're going to speak normally. Normal human decibels today. Let's see. Test it out. Let's test out Jared. Jared's brand new radio voice. Go ahead. Go for it.
The Human Torch was denied a bank loan.
Why? Hey, do an impression of like what you think a 90s shock jock would sound like. You know, one of those. We're not talking like Howard, like a Tom Likas Grease Man.
Oh, okay.
Like the shitty ones.
No, I got it.
Not O&A or those guys, but like the guys are always like, hey, I'll tell you what, she's got some great kazungas.
If I'm gonna do,
she got some bazookas.
Did you hear that Don Geronimo got fired?
Wait. Don Geronimo, I don't include in those guys. He's a nice man.
Yeah, he got fired for being inappropriate.
You know, I know Don Geronimo. We have a friendly relationship on Twitter. We DM each other.
Well, you should.
Did he get fired? I thought he got just put on the sidelines for a little bit.
I think the headline was he got fired.
Oh, shit. I'm sorry to hear that, Don. He literally just got back into DC radio. Oh, come on. He did something or other where he's like, hey, toots, or something.
Yeah, it was something, yeah.
It was something stupid like that. Come on. No, I'm talking about one of those grease men. Like, hey, everybody. Hey, Tom Likas here. Hey, we're going to
if I'm going to do Tom Likas impression, you've got to turn the lights off and give me sunglasses.
Well, all right, just do the voice. It's a fucking podcast.
This is the Tom Likas Show.
All right,
I'm Tom Likas. I'm a talentless nobody.
Okay. Listen, this ain't Tales from the Satellite, Daddy. This ain't Davey Mack's Tales from the Satellite, which is the show that is getting massive amounts of buzz. It's a Patreon exclusive show. I guess semi, but no, not really. It is a Patreon exclusive show. You sign up to patreon.com. You get early access to Yaddle Chattle, this show, Davey Mack Sports Program early access, and you get Tales from the Satellite, where I discuss my 10-year satellite career at O&A, Rod and Fez, Davey Mack Sports Program, Sam and Dave, and more. And you get that about a full month to at least 6 weeks before we finally put it out on YouTube or wherever you want to get your podcasts. The first 5 episodes are available for free on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts. But you know what? This is a show that a lot of people put in a lot of work. Jedi Jared's one of them. Ron Fez Archivist, Bobby Tamburo. Have the common decency to listen to it on Patreon. If you're watching Yaddle Chattle and this show sounds interesting, then sign up for Patreon. You can get the show for $2.50 a month. I ain't Mike Francesa charging people $10 a month for his stupid fucking shitty app.
Really? He does?
$10. No, his app went out of business. Price point.
Well, what's his
He's got no more app because his price point was so shitty.
Speaking of shitty shock jocks,
on the mic though, Todd. I just want your face in front of the mic and then speak at any volume you want.
Todd, formerly of Scott and Todd, his whole app behind a paywall thing failed too.
Of course, we're fucking radio guys. I listen. I've got EastsideDaveCountry.com, my website where you can get a ton of awesome stuff. Every podcast I do, every video, everything. But Patreon, it's a way to support, and we do a lot of shit. We create a lot of content, and it feels good to support. But like I said, you do get access to that show 4 to 6 weeks before everyone else. So it's worth it in that capacity. Let's get into the Star Wars.
Sure.
Holy shit. We got a wrestling feud, baby. Okay. Damon? Is it Damon Lindelof, the guy from who created Lost and Leftovers and all that shit? Is it Damon? Damon, right? Damon Lindelof taking aim at Star Wars. He was at the writer's strike. He was picketing. Someone, walked up to him and asked for a few comments simply about the writer's strike. He, out of nowhere, proactively said, I love being here and supporting my fellow writers. He said, me and my friend recently wrote a Star Wars movie. And, quote, picketing Disney is a lot more fun than writing Star Wars movies. Closed quote. Being on the picket line, baking in the sun for 10 hours a day in the fucking hot California weather, the smog and shit, the fucking torturous fucking, 103 degrees. He'd rather do that than write a Star Wars movie. Remember, it was Damon Lindelof, apparently, that wrote this Rey movie, or at least wrote the outline and wrote the fucking gist of it. They took him away from it, or wanted to change, with the help of the Star Wars Story Group, wanted to change his movie. He said, I'm out of here. No one's fucking changing my shit. I'm not working with the Story Group. And they gave it to the lady who's now going to direct the new Rey movie. But it was apparently Damon Lindelof who had the Rey movie. And it was going to be some weird thing where Rey was actually going to be an old woman telling a flashback of what Rey did after the events of Episode 9. And people said it was cool. People said it was a good idea, but apparently not. What do you think about these comments? I'd rather be picketing Disney.
A bit hyperbolic, I thought.
Hey, by the way, it wasn't. I'd rather be picketing, for the guild or against the movie studios, specifically against the movie studio who was, I guess, fucking his script up.
Maybe he's used to saying
in.
Oh, well, I thought I was trying.
Okay, no, there you go. That's the volume.
Well, I think that I don't think he's used to getting no or having his stuff, taken away from him like that, right?
But should he be getting his stuff taken away? After the success of Lost, Leftovers, and various other projects, the guy's proven himself to be a big-time commodity.
I mean, we often talk about the payoff. And I've heard my wife is a big Lost and Leftovers fan.
I'm a Lost fan, and I'm one of those people who disagrees with Lost fans. I thought the show was great from day one till the finale, and even like the finale. I know I am, because fucking people are stupid when it comes to television. With all due respect, if you have a differing opinion, if you're a Yaddle Chattle fan, I'm not calling you stupid, because I know a lot of people hated Lost ending and Game of Thrones ending and shit like that. I happen to like Lost. Final season, Game of Thrones final season, the finales. Here's why. It's physically impossible, folks, to tell 6, 7, 8 seasons of television where you've now spent hundreds of hours and have a very personal connection to these characters, it's impossible to wrap it up in 2 hours. So people who put these finales as if they're going to be like a little movie or the greatest things of all time, it never works. It never works. Well, so you don't go in it with that mentality. It's bigger picture shit. I love Lost. Lost is working, but that's not the point. The point is, he's fucking pissed. Is this a bad sign for Star Wars? I want to talk about Star Wars.
I don't know. I honestly, I don't know. We hear so many different things. Is season 4 of The Mandalorian being a movie a good thing or a bad thing? Are having all these movies now coming out in a 2-year period as opposed to, and what does that mean now if they're going to do a Mandalorian movie? How does that fit in with the other 3 movies? Like, is the Mandalorian is season 4 Mandalorian movie taking, like, how does this all fit in? And now that we're kind of in this holding pattern between the writers and the actors, we won't have any real resolution. And now I kind of feel like I don't know if they were in production at all with the Rey film, because the Rey film, no matter what, was supposed to be the first film to come out, right? And then the James Mangold film was supposed to come out 2 years later.
And I'm telling you, Jared, that is now a real issue, which we called, because even though I liked Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, it is not. I mean, this is being kind. At the very least, it's not a box office hit in any way, shape, or form. It probably is more considered to be more on the bomb scale. It's not that it's lost money, but it really hasn't made the type of money that they're looking for because it was a $300 million movie. I think it's made above $300 million,
it's probably
which back in the day was fucking great. You know, when Star Wars was making, $370 million in 1977, everyone was like, what the shit? Yeah, Star Wars budget was $30 million.
That's like $1 billion now. Though.
Yeah, Star Wars made 10 times their budget. So in other words, $300 million movie, you should be making, what is that, $3 billion?
If you want to get that kind of return on investment.
So I think this is an issue here. So I don't know about the Mangold. The Rey thing now, I'm nervous about honestly, with these fucking Damon Lindelof comments that he is openly shitting on the script. He's shitting on this movie as far as I'm concerned. He's basically saying, I'd rather be tortured in the heat and doing something I fucking hate, which is picketing, because Hollywood's keeping the man down. I'd rather be out there baking in the California polluted sun than writing a Star Wars movie.
You know what?
That's some serious smack talk. For Hollywood standards, that's a fucking wrestling promo.
I never had a whole lot of faith in this
Rey movie
to begin with.
Jared, we're going to get it. This one is the one that we will definitely get.
Oh, I know.
I don't know if we're getting Mangold now.
And all of the, well, you know what? The fact that all of this stuff has unfolded now with Indiana Jones and they've been relatively
Did you see it?
Not yet.
You're a fucking asshole. It literally is people like you that are going to get the Mangold movie taken away from me. And that's the movie that was the most appealing.
I don't think that's going to happen because if you didn't happen to notice, Kathleen Kennedy is still the president of Lucasfilm and everything seems to be full steam ahead. Like
for Kathleen, but not for Bob Iger's just going to be like, well, that movie sucked. It didn't make our money. And he'll fucking cancel that shit in a heartbeat. This is the guy who, by the way, rightfully said, why are we giving Ant-Man a fucking second and third movie? Ant-Man? You know what, Bob? Agreed, bud. Agreed. I just don't want this project to go into Ant-Man territory because I think it sounds cool. A fucking biblical epic based on the origins of the Jedi and Sith sounds cool to me.
I think Disney is really shooting themselves in the foot with a Rey film first.
I agree, but we say this every week. Why? Why go with Rey? Should have went safe. Grogu. No, I'm serious. Had Filoni do. So the third movie is going to be the big Filoni Mandoverse.
Yeah, but I thought that was basically going to tie everything together and be like.
It doesn't need to be just one. Doesn't need to be just one. You can have a big fucking Mandoverse movie and shit, introduce maybe a character that gets their own series. And we do the big Mandoverse movie becomes the fucking Avengers of Star Wars every 5 years or 4 years. Then you've had a whole bunch of TV and you get the gang back together for a big Mandoverse movie.
I want to preface by saying I want to like these things.
Me too, bud. I love Star Wars so much. Do you see all my dolls behind me?
But I have to be a little more...
my dolls are like off screen.
Practical, pragmatic.
Keep going. I'm listening.
About the current situation. And with a writer strike and an actor strike, I mean, in reality, all of this stuff is going to push content back. We've got Ahsoka coming up in 2 weeks. We've got Skeleton Crew or The Acolyte coming up. We've got both series coming up, right?
Sorry. Yeah, I was moving my dolls in the camera shot, and then I just started posing because holy shit, man, I've been lifting the weights, swimming every day. I gotta tell you, bro. Here's the deal. I gotta find a pool in the fall and the wintertime. That's how I get my most exercising in.
You find a LA Fitness that has a pool in the area.
LA fucking Fitness. I don't want to spend $75 on some gym membership. I want to get a fucking free membership or a cheap membership just for the pool. No weights, no nothing. Pool. I do dumbbells at home.
Is there any kind of community inside pool?
That's what I need. We got YMCAs around here. Maybe I can check in one of those. I just don't want to get, like mugged or anything.
I pay $30 a month for my gym membership.
I'm not paying anything for a gym membership. I lift weights in my house. Let's get back. What were you saying? I needed to get my dolls in the shot.
I'm a little concerned right now with everything. Like, we're not hearing we haven't heard anything about Skeleton Crew outside Jude Law, something like the Magic School Bus meets the Goonies kind of scenario.
That show sounds cute. I like it.
I think it's gonna be
to me, it sounds like something that actually could be, it might have the same sort of refreshing feel that season 1 of The Mandalorian had.
No, I agree.
That got a lot of the bad taste of the sequel trilogy out of people's mouths.
I would agree. I'm hoping for the best, but
me too.
Everything you hear about The Acolyte is just...
Well, that's why I'm hoping that the Jude Law show, because The Acolyte is looking a little, again, I'm an open-minded type of guy who likes lots of people, but there's a lot.
It's not
with
about
that. Here's the thing. I'll agree with Jared. Not as open-minded as me, if you know what I'm saying. We don't talk politics here on Yaddle Chattle, but he ain't. But here's the thing. I am. But what I will agree with you on is everything I'm hearing from The Acolyte has nothing to do with Star Wars or the story. It has everything to do with this is the first time that a Star Wars show has done this in society, that, or the other thing, or represented, or blah, blah, blah. And that's all well and good. I'm not against that. What I'm saying is fucking do it. And then do a great story. Like, most important is the quality of the story and the characters.
Like, no one's saying this is going to be so much fun. Like, you're going to feel like you're in the movie theater seeing a classic Star Wars. No one's saying any of those things.
Bring everybody to Star Wars. Have everyone a part of Star Wars. I'm good like that. I'm fine. But just do it already. But don't do that on top of like instead of story.
I don't think
instead of quality. That's what fucking Disney is having an issue with right now. It's trying to check too many boxes of we want, all this credit instead of coming up with quality. Don't fuck up Star Wars that way. You're fucking up all of your other movies. Don't fuck up Star Wars that way. Please.
You know what a lot of that does come down to though, Dave, is oh shit, I lost my train of thought.
We're talking about Disney.
No.
Going for, Acolyte, and that they seem to be,
no, but
not concentrating on...
We've heard a lot of rumors about different shows here and there, right? And typically the rumors that are involved in the show aren't so much like the disagreements or the disappointments. Sometimes here and there you'll hear about Tamora Morrison being disappointed that he wasn't in Mando season 3, or he didn't like the way certain things handled in the Book of Boba Fett. Things here and there. with the Acolyte, that was the first time we ever heard and then the rumors, a lot of the, just to add another note, most of the other rumors are like, oh, this person is going to be in here.
Right.
Or Easter eggs and shit like that, right?
What were we hearing? It was the first time in the Acolyte. What?
The showrunner had either left or got fired.
Oh, yeah.
And there was all this stuff on the, like, Scott, friend of the show from History Homo, sent me a message like, is this true? Question mark. Like, the showrunner from the Acolyte, I'm like, probably not. But, I mean, this went around the internet.
Yeah.
Like, that, for me, isn't like comforting.
No,
it doesn't give me a lot of faith when rumors are swirling that either the showrunner quit or got fired.
Once again, we're back in that we're nervous Star Wars fans rather than being excited Star Wars fans. Doesn't 2014 feel so long ago before The Force Awakens dropped? But you knew it was coming. It was on the way. It was going to be here before you know it. It was going to hit theaters when? 2015, right? And we were seeing the commercials. We're seeing the trailers. And it was excitement. It was buzz. It was anticipation. Now, as a Star Wars fan, it feels like 50% of the time you get that wonderful feeling. The other 50% of the time is actually anxiety, nervousness, trepidation. How are they going to fuck up my Star Wars now? And so it's a difficult thing. And don't blame us, Lucasfilm, Story Group, Disney, Kathleen Kennedy, any of you motherfuckers. Don't blame us. Blame yourselves. You have fucked up a bunch. You've also done some great shit. See, I'm fair. I'm not a goddamn Disney Star Wars hater. I'm fair. But, you know, you got to get on a run here. You know what I'm saying? Got to get it on a run. I'm a sports fan. The fucking Yankees are done because they do the same thing this year. Win a game, lose a game. Win a game, lose a game. Win a game, lose a game. You know what happens when you do that? You're a mediocre team. Nothing special. You might be the New York Yankees and get 4 million people in your stadium, but you're starting to get a lot of pissed off people who are wondering, why is the franchise in the condition that it's in? And I'm feeling the same type of emotions with Star Wars. There's a good thing, there's a bad thing. There's a good story, a bad story. There's a happy thing, a happy update, then a shitty update.
And then there's like nothing that like says, okay, I'm gonna like I don't know if you should brag like that it's only lightsabers only. And you know, I read a comment online that kind of
that was bothersome. You're talking about Acolyte.
Yes. So someone
said no blasters, no guns will be featured in the Acolyte, and they were proud of that.
So someone made one valid point about that.
Yeah,
and it goes back to the line that Obi-Wan says in Episode 4.
The fucking weapons of civilized bullshit.
Yeah, because it's supposed to take place during the High Republic. So.
Excellent. So there's no criminals. There's no outlaws. So there's going to be no criminals or outlaws. Or anyone in the fucking Acolyte like that. That
was the only
fucking
point.
Stupid.
I'm not disagreeing with you, but that was
just if you want some sort of samurai show, cool. But guess what?
They had bows and arrows in samurai time.
Right.
They had other weapons.
Yeah.
They had more like
fucking ancient China invented gunpowder.
Yes.
Like invented it. Hundreds of years ago, they thought, well, we should make a fucking gun. So, yes, the Jedi are civilized. Hello, that's what makes them special. Stupid idiots. When you have when there's 1,000 people and they can all swing lightsabers,
then
guess what?
Special.
Lightsabers aren't special no more. And a lightsaber initially, and you can't tell me otherwise, was fucking Excalibur.
Yeah.
To Luke Skywalker's King Arthur.
It's always been like that, though. Look,
which is why a lightsaber is extremely special, which is why you shouldn't have 50 fucking... This is what they they bragged about, folks, not us. They said you're going to be seeing more lightsabers in the Acolyte than in anything you've ever seen. They said you're getting all lightsaber action and there will be no guns. And they called them guns and that made it sound like this was an anti-gun thing, which I don't like guns. I am anti-gun for the most part, I suppose. In real life. But not in movies.
I'm pro 2A, just FYI.
Not in movies.
No, I'm pro 2A in real life.
You are?
Yes.
Well, good for you. I don't care. I don't want to get shot. I don't want to get
shot either.
I don't think of things on a big level. And we don't do fucking modern day issues and politics on Yaddle Chattle because that's the goddamn mistake Disney does. So stop it with your goddamn little fucking diatribe. I'm saying in Star Wars, you motherfuckers, you have to have guns. In movies and art, you have to have guns because they exist. They would exist in Star Wars. They have existed in Star Wars forever. You can't change the rules. God damn you.
But you can see how that can make someone nervous, right?
I want to do a happy topic.
Okay.
I'm pissed. And I came in a great mood because of the macaroni and cheese. Guess what I found out today?
Go ahead.
On the Morning Rat Race, my FM radio show, the #1 radio show in the state of New Jersey, Davey Mack, 95.9 FM, WRAT.com. If you live out of state, you can still listen for free. We got a free app and shit. Brought in comedian and improv artist Mike O'Keefe, who runs improv. It's called Improv Jam out of Red Bank, New Jersey. He's been doing it for 30 years. And some of the people who have done Improv Jam have gone on to star in movies, Guardians of the Galaxy. He was telling me about people who were in Guardians of the Galaxy recently and some other Marvel shit. Then he says, yeah, one of my closest friends that I've worked with is D. Bradley Baker. Wow. Now, if you don't know who D. Bradley Baker is, you should be ashamed of yourself if you're a Star Wars animation fan, because D. Bradley Baker, amongst other things, does the voice of all clones. All clones. In the Bad Batch,
he did
cast. One character at a time, they said, to get to stay in character, which makes sense. It would be way too fucking hard to go back and forth. But that's why they sound so great. And yes, he's Captain Rex, and he's Cody, and he's this, he's that. He's amazing. And this fucking guy worked with D. Bradley Baker, Jared.
Yeah.
Thoughts and opinions.
Let's get Michael O'Keefe to get D. Bradley Baker on Yaddle Chattle.
I should have thought of that. I'm really stupid. You know what? -2 points for me. Fuck me right in the face. Go ahead. Here, hold on.
I'm fine. I don't really.
Here you go. No, go ahead. Go ahead. Hold it. Go ahead. Bring it. Fuck me right in the face.
No, it's okay.
No, I deserve it.
No.
I have fucking Mike O'Keefe here, and he's best friends with D. Bradley Baker, and I forgot to fucking do that.
Maybe you have his contact information.
I know I can contact Mike O'Keefe immediately following this Yaddle Chattle on Facebook. We have been friends for 3 years now on Facebook.
We'll talk off air. We'll do some show prep.
All right, so that's cool. Are you jealous of me?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Couple theories, couple fun things here.
Okay.
Read a good theory online. I'm going to share it with you. I want to give the writers credit. So, unlike Jared, I'm not going to my phone to be a dick. I'm going to my phone. Okay, so here it is. This is the Han Solo shit.
I love all your Stargate, alien shit on your phone.
Oh, someone asked today on Twitter if they think the Egyptian pyramids were real.
Yes.
So I had to, no, not Egyptian pyramids are real. If the Egyptian pyramids were built by humans or aliens, I had to inform them.
They were built by humans.
No, obviously aliens. And it's used as a power plant where they would put in water and acid in the bottom of it. And
make a battery.
Out of the top, it would shoot up a laser beam, which would repower their spaceships.
Right.
And this is very, very common knowledge.
And that's why they buried their dead.
Where do you think the Egyptians got the hieroglyphics from? Aliens. Everyone knows hieroglyphics is how aliens write.
Sumerians.
This is 100% the case. So yes,
Sumerians.
The pyramids were built by extraterrestrials. But anyway, this is what the person says. Han Solo. Sensitive. I can't find the person credit, so I apologize. Han Solo. Sensitive to the Force without even realizing it. And here's why. The person says, watch how Han is able to sneak up on people who have the Force. He's able to surprise people. Or, for instance, in Star Wars Episode 4, Darth Vader is able to sense Obi-Wan Kenobi.
But can't sense his own two kids.
Can't sense Han Solo.
Or his two kids.
Point being,
wow,
Han Solo
you look like my ex-wife.
Han Solo, he, without knowing it, might be Force sensitive, and specifically his Force power was that he is cloaked from other Force users. Discuss. Like that theory is that stupid theory.
No, I actually like that.
There's always a part of me that thought that Han was special.
Well, I was always under the impression that in Episode 9 it was a Force ghost kind of thing. Because he's not a Jedi, so he couldn't come back completely as a Force, as a projection like Yoda did in Episode 8. But
he was there.
His spirit, reached out to him.
Did they ever explain if that was just Kylo Ren is fucking bonkers? And he just saw a hallucination of his dad? Tell him it's okay, son.
At least in my headcanon, he was a Force ghost.
It makes sense. Okay, so I always felt this. I always felt that Han and Chewie were almost perfect mirrors of each other, just one as human and one as Wookiee. In other words, I always thought that Chewbacca, yes, he's a Wookiee, but he does have abnormal strength for even a Wookiee. He is the fucking Brock Lesnar of Wookiees. He's not just, it's not just, yes, Wookiees are 4 to 5 times stronger than your average human. In Chewie's case, he might be 10 times because he legitimately is a special Wookiee, not just a Wookiee. I think Han is the same. Without even George or anyone saying it, Han punches people differently. Han lifted the fucking guy at the age of 70 in Episode 7, picks him up with 2 hands and throws him into the fucking monster, that monster ball, the Rathtar, who was chasing him on the ship. He just picks up the guy and flings him with 2 hands, throws him a good 7 to 8 feet in the air, up in the air, and 15 to 20 feet across the room. Humans don't do that. I feel like Han Solo's always had subtly more strength. He's more powerful than your average human. He's actually extremely strong, and so is Chewie. This is something I've always felt, but it would make sense. Maybe I can attribute Han's extra strength to being Force sensitive without him even realizing it. This would also explain his insane piloting skills and possibly this Force cloak that this writer, and I apologize, Google it and then give the writer credit. Another -5 for me for not giving the writer credit. There you go.
Well, the whole point is that the Force is supposed to be flowing through every living thing, correct? And we've kind of seen in the Clone Wars, we've seen other Force sensitive races. The ones that they did the Temple of Doom homage to, they're considered Force sensitive, but they're neither Jedi nor Sith. Chirrut was somewhat Force sensitive.
Well, somewhat. Chirrut had the Force. You're not gonna convince.
No, I wouldn't say. I would say he's Force sensitive, but I wouldn't say he's a straight up Jedi Sith.
I would say he's pretty goddamn close. I would say Chirrut Imwe would have been a Jedi had he been able to be trained.
Potentially.
He wasn't a Jedi because they got fucking destroyed, and he was a little kid at the time. Teenager. Think about it. He's supposed to be 40 by the time A New Hope is there.
So he would have been 20. He would have been a young adult. He would have been an apprentice.
Okay. So maybe that explains why he's able to do awesome shit, but then he's not a full-on Jedi levitating shit.
I think that there's a threshold where you can train to become a Jedi, and it's say it's 75, and Chirrut and Han are at a 45. So
Well,
they're
okay,
like,
I would say
they're high. Like most people, maybe baseline.
All right, first of all, what kind of nut does a scale and just doesn't do it 1 to 100?
Well, no, because
who does a scale 1 to 75? Hold on, hold on, 75. Minus 75 points for Jedi Jared right there. Minus 75 points. No one does a fucking scale of 1 to 75 for Christ's sake. They do scales of 1 to 100.
But
another minus 75. But when you become a droid, I'm gonna put like little mechanical parts on your head, and I'm gonna call you Butt 8. Your droid name is Butt 8. So
no, but
I think Han probably has the Force at a 20 of a scale of 1 to 100, and I think Chirrut is probably at a 50 or 60. But he was never able, and he was on his way. But if he had gotten, proper Jedi tutelage, he would have gotten to that 100. But the Jedis got massacred, so he's just sitting around at that fucking temple like a homeless bum asking for handouts.
But you see, the point is that there are different capacities for the Force. So, and it can manifest itself in different ways. So the theory is it holds.
Right.
I buy it. Like when remember the theory you had that R2 was Force sensitive, and we kind of like discussed how like it was potential that, all those years being next to Anakin and
no, it wasn't that. It was that for me, yes. But specifically when Anakin was fixing R2 and doing different shit with them, there has to be a way that some of Anakin's DNA and Force maybe got into R2.
It's possible.
Or what if Anakin simply figured it out? See, I think there's something there. And I think they were going there with the Mandalorian, with the labs, of figuring out how to basically bottle up the Force. And
I think that goes back to the whole midichlorian thing, or the metachlorian thing, where they're like, well, is it something that your DNA makes?
Yeah. No, I agree. I always felt that the midichlorians, everyone hated the midichlorians in a big way. I think George didn't explain it well. I never thought that the midichlorians were responsible for someone having the Force. They were just an indicator if someone is like clearly abundantly loaded with the Force, in the same way that an IQ test isn't the end all be all if someone's going to be a genius who invents something, amazing. If they're going to put out an Einstein theory of relativity. But you take an IQ test and someone's off the charts, you can at least understand, okay, there's a brilliant person there. And that's all I thought. It was midichlorians are there to just give you a guide of, okay, there's something special with this person. It wasn't it's not the end all.
I think the problem that I think, and you're right, George.
Hell yeah, I'm right. Plus 75 points for me.
George didn't articulate that whole thing properly.
Yeah, fuck you, Jared. Who the fuck are you to tell me what to do? You know how goddamn fucking hard it is when trying to write a movie when you got John Dykstra smoking weed in the goddamn fucking warehouse. Some shithole in Southern California. Got John Dykstra. I got all these goddamn hippies running around. I got Dennis Murin, dropping acid, trying to, tell me, of only George, this entire movie should be claymation. I go, don't drop, 4 tabs of acid before a day at, ILM, because you're going to turn into Sid Barrett and, think you're a cup of orange juice. Dennis, I'm more than likely going to be firing Dykstra after this picture. Don't make me fire your fucking weird-looking ass. Your human ET ass. You look like a fucking, human version of ET, which is weird because that movie, if this is 1976, that movie hasn't even come out yet. Maybe I should just give the idea to Steven. Anyway, I'm George Lucas. Fuck you, Jared.
I think the reason why there was a backlash in the first place was the whole point of the Force is supposed to be this mystical thing. And,
that's why, yeah.
It's like, picked at random. But then we find out that, of course, that Luke's father is Anakin. And
he shouldn't have. He should have just said something very small, like midichlorians aren't. Liam Neeson is. Midichlorians aren't the Force. It's not the whole Force. They're just an indicator if someone is very strong with the Force. That's all. That's simple. You could have literally wrote that in 2 sentences, and then all the midichlorian freakouts wouldn't have happened.
But do you notice that he didn't mention it in the other 2 films?
I do. Speaking of making you a droid, which is a project that I do definitely have. By the way, in order to make you Butt 8, do you have a problem with me chopping your legs off? Because I definitely want to do the ball thing. I just have to figure out the technology. Well, what I'm thinking is, you ever go to an airport and you go on one of those walkways with the things? We have that type of technology for you underneath your torso. We're just going to have to chop your legs off first. But we put it the other way. So instead of, the thing moving on the top with your feet, we just glue the bottom to your torso, but then we put it that way. And this way you're just coming at
you. Realize I wouldn't be a droid.
With mechanical parts. We're going to put some fucking microchips
that would
in your
be
head.
a cyborg. There's a huge difference.
Okay. Brings me to my next point. Lobot. This is where I am going to admit, Yaddle Chattle fans, I was wrong. And god damn it, I don't know what the fuck. Well, I must have been on acid. Forget about Dennis Murin. Remember we were talking about the origins of Lobot the other week?
Where?
I thought it was last week, maybe it's 2 weeks ago. Very recently. You're too much of this with you.
No, I don't think we've even talked about Lobot.
Quibbler, I'm going into a Lobot fucking discussion.
Okay.
So as I set it up, don't quibble about the goddamn fucking when we last talked about it. Just because you don't remember it doesn't mean I don't. We recently discussed Lobot.
Okay.
Sometimes I wonder, sometimes it's amazing how awful you are at radio. I'm trying to go into a Lobot discussion and you're like, we didn't discuss them.
Because I don't fucking remember that. I really don't.
What would that do for this conversation then? It would give it no reason for me to bring it up, as I was simply trying to bring up this for our Lobot discussion. That's all I was trying to do. Quibbler, there is no reason to fucking quibble. I'm just trying to do a setup. Do you see how awful you are at radio sometimes? Minus 5 million points. I do appreciate the macaroni and cheese.
I'm taking the mac and cheese back.
No,
give that to my kid for lunch tomorrow.
come on.
Well, you better plus 500. You better plus 5 million and even that out.
I will plus 4 million.
5.
You'll get another million depending on how you end the show.
Fine.
Damn, he quibbles. I mean, my God, Darth Quibbler is your. If you turn Sith, if you turn to the dark side, Darth Quibbliss. Darth Quibbliss.
That's a great name. You know that. That's a great name.
You're fucking Darth Quibbler.
I'll tell you what.
I can't believe it. I'm literally just trying to do a 2-sentence fucking stupid throwaway line to get us into a discussion, and you're quibbling. Do you see how counterproductive that is?
Okay, I got an idea.
My God.
For the if we ever do an episode of Tales from Satellite about the bearded Joker, you decide to dress up like that.
I'm now sweating because of you.
I will become my own Batman villain. In honor of Fez Whatley, who is the bearded Riddler, I will be the bearded Quibbler.
You're the bearded Quibbler.
It's
Beautiful.
like a sidekick.
Fantastic. And instead of a question mark, I want a Quibbler to just be ZZZ. Because your fucking Quibblers are so goddamn boring and counterproductive, you fuck. Lobot.
Wedge, can you do that, please?
Lobot. Oh, good. I had no idea. Okay, so here's what I said. I said that Lobot, I don't know where I got this from. I don't know if I invented this. I don't know if I did acid like I said. I don't know what the fuck. But I told you the origin of why Lobot has the thing on his head and why he's clearly like more machine than human. He's a cyborg. But more machine than human is because I thought his origin story was Lobot was a highly intelligent person. But what happened was he killed someone. Might have been self-defense, but nevertheless, he murdered someone, and he went to some sort of, trial, some Star Wars trial, and the judge found him guilty. Wasn't bad enough that he was going to be executed, but it was going to be bad enough that they were going to put that thing on his head, which basically controls his emotions, makes him passive, sort of like a Jack Nicholson lobotomy, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest type deal. And the judge put that basically to make him subservient. That's when Lando, down the line, Lando finds him, says this guy would be, fantastic, basically. He's like a butler, soldier, assassin. So I'll use Lobot. That's what I thought.
Okay.
Is that what you thought? Do you know where Lobot comes from? Because I have the actual story.
I know who Lobot is.
From Empire Strikes Back, in case anyone's wondering. The bald guy with the fucking metal thing on the headphones. He looks like he's wearing headphones.
He responds to like a remote control.
Yes.
Yeah.
Lando calls him with his wristwatch when he needs a little help. He goes, boo, and he wakes up. His eyes pop up.
Yeah.
Very cool part.
What is his story?
Here's his story. And I will say, Wikipedia is the place I go to, and their source is, it's very well sourced on Wikipedia. I know it sounds silly, but it is very well resourced, and it's probably the #1 Star Wars thing to go for this kind of shit.
Oh, absolutely.
It says Lobot was running battlefield construction for the Empire because he was a genius, very smart, very good at math. But in order to improve Lobot's productivity, he volunteered to let the Empire put mechanical shit in his head to make the calculations faster, to make everything and to build more shit. He allowed the Empire to do that. He retained, for the most part, a bunch of his humanity, though some of his personality definitely diminished. He got calmer, and he got, just a little bit more serious, because of the fact that his brain was getting taken over by microchips. He gets basically purchased or meets Lando. He goes on, he becomes Lando's right-hand guy, even is on the Millennium Falcon with Lando. Kind of Lando's Chewie for a long time. During one of the adventures, he gets injured severely, and basically the machine, the AI in Lobot takes over in order to keep him alive. And so now he's pretty much all robot rather than human because of the injury. Nothing to do with murder. Nothing to do with the judge sentencing him. Nothing to do with this being forced upon his head. What the fuck, A? B, what story do you like better? I have to get a napkin.
Oh, wow.
Yes. I knocked out one of my dolls.
I don't know. I kind of like your story better. That's
smart.
Both are
You know what? Give yourself plus 100,000 points. That's one way to get your fucking shit back.
Thank you, Mr. Champion.
Okay. Still looking for that 900 million point or 900,000, but we still have a couple minutes left.
Both are very tragic. And I would love to read the comic book or the book that they did. Someone wrote a whole Lobot book or comic book or
they have.
It's like a flashback.
Yeah,
or something.
they have. They've done a bunch of like Lobot shit with comics and stuff like that. And I seriously don't know where I got the whole fucking murder case from.
It's all headcanon. Like you start
it's really weird.
You're driving one day and you're like, well.
And if
where did this Lobot guy come from? And he's like, oh, you know what would sound really cool? Like a Demolition Man-esque type of...
I guess that's a little bit, yeah. Or Total Recall?
Like...
Total Recall type of...
It's kind of very dystopian.
Yeah, it's a dystopian type of weird fucking shit. And I was 100% convinced I was right. And so I wanted to learn more about the murder case and who he killed and stuff. So I go over to Wikipedia this morning, actually. And when I looked it up, I go, there's nothing. I had zero details correct.
There's actually a I read a short story by the guy who wrote the short story that they made Arrival on. It's very similar to that. Where
Well, I'll tell you what, Star Wars, I just gave you a free fucking story for a cool ass character. Just do it. Take Davey Mack. Again, Lucasfilm Story Group. You sure you don't want me? I mean, you probably don't because of the way, I talk and act. Those two things would rub a lot of people the wrong way at Disney. I can understand that.
I think you'd just be excited.
You don't want to say, someone throwing around a lot of F-bombs and shit. I can understand that. But idea-wise, I've given so many good fucking ideas to you people. And there's another one. Come up with a fucking guy who's like Lobot then. And put the goddamn headset on the other way. Or put it on his eyes or shit. I don't know. Fucking, make it look cool.
Don't they kind of try to go into that a little bit with Echo? Because Echo kind of had something similar done to him, right? Where like when they they
is that Echo's story?
It's similar to Echo's.
I mean,
story.
what I'm saying is, was his AI put on him?
Yes.
Okay.
He was captured, and they experimented on him. So this is kind of like the precursor to.
Yeah, but I like my whole murder thing. That's fucking cool. Plus, a Star Wars trial. Let's see what that even fucking looks like. And like a judge, or maybe it's like 3 judges and they're all aliens.
And that's why I said I like yours better.
Yeah. We've never seen a Star Wars trial before. That's what I'm talking about.
But you could see that either whoever wrote it, whoever came up with that whole storyline with Echo probably read the Lobot story because it's similar it's similar in that they've kind of they try to take away his humanity by putting all this like cyborg stuff. And he has that thing on the back of, he has something similar. There. He has something similar around the back of his head, right?
You're still looking at me crazy,
Sorry,
man.
But he kind of has that thing on the back of his head.
Yeah, he does.
But it's
who are you talking about? Stop with the pronouns. I don't know what you're.
Echo.
8,000 E's. Okay.
Echo kind of.
Echo has the same kind of headband that Lobot does.
Yes.
That is true.
But they kind of made him more Borg looking, which was probably done on purpose as well.
All right. Because of the macaroni and cheese, you're getting 900,000 points.
Thank you, Mr. Champion.
As we almost wrap up.
Got an email from Tom Cody.
Buddy's got an email from Tom Cody.
I promised him I'd.
I love it.
At least read this email.
Please.
Mr. Champion, this is, I screwed up and didn't check the mail for a bit. Just finished listening to episode. So he goes, hello, Mr. Champion. Hello, Jedi Jared. Just finished listening to episode 65 and agree The Last Jedi is a terrible movie and killing Luke Skywalker was a huge mistake. In honor of this episode being episode 66, I hereby award the following points, Mr. Champion.
Okay, this is exciting.
66,000 points.
Boom.
Jedi Jared, 122,000 points.
What?
Joe Dallas, 66,000
Did you hear his fucking quibbling today? By the way,
Kevin Flynn.
By the way, can I just bring in, your quibbling is getting worse and worse because you quibble when you're wrong. Yes.
Okay.
We did talk about Lobot either last week or 2 weeks ago. Regardless, that's not a detail that ever needs to be argued.
Okay.
Kevin, you got 122,000 points, Tom. Oh my God.
Kevin Flynn, 66,000 points. Sith Stanley, 66,000 points.
I love it.
And 66,000 points for him. Then he
66,000 points for Tom Cody.
Yes.
I agree with it. In fact, I'll give Tom another 66,000 points.
And then he took away about 4 points, minus 4 points away from me.
For what?
For not replying back in time.
There it is to Tom. And of all the people who you got a bonus, it sounded like 122,000?
Well, I'm always replying back to his emails, wishing him well, and, I gave him some advice.
Is 66 plus 66, though, even 122? Wouldn't that be 132?
Yes. But I'll take it.
So minus 5 points for Tom with poor math. 66,000 plus 66,000 is 132,000, not 122,000.
Maybe.
And he said 122?
Maybe it was a typo.
Minus 5 points for Tom. Okay, you know what? Plus 10 points for Tom. I don't want any listener to ever be in the negative. And Jared said maybe it was a typo. It might have been a typo.
Might have just been a typo.
Minus 66,000 points for Jared right now. I need you to give us a Star Wars cage match.
Well, let's use Lobot.
Ooh, I like this. I think I know where you're going. You just brought the guy up from the Bad Batch. Just keep it simple.
Oh no! I was gonna
Keep it simple.
Lobot versus Echo.
There you go. Okay, what were you gonna do?
Chrysanthemum.
Chrysanthemum?
Yeah.
The Wookiee?
Yeah.
Lobot's fucking stupid metal head would be ripped off his goddamn body within 3 seconds.
Yeah, but you said
no. Your fucking matchup. You always strike oil and then you keep digging. You're amazing that way. And then when you keep digging, you know what you find? Shit.
They call
dirt
it
and shit.
seepage.
This shit is fucking Echo versus the goddamn fucking guy, Lobot. And because, who do I want to go with? You know what? I'm going with Lobot.
Because he's got murderous rage.
Because of Darth David's headcanon, he's a murderer. That's the only reason why. So I gotta go with Lobot. Just for the fact that, but in all honesty, he did help out Lando in a pinch. You know, he seems to, listen, with having no fucking emotions, he's never going to get nervous, never going to be fearful. I mean, the fucking courage and the bravery are through the roof with this guy because he's a fucking stupid computer. So I go with Lobot. Actually, the more I think about it, Lobot easily defeats Echo. 100%.
Well, if we're going to talk body count, I think Echo's got him beat because he was a soldier.
He uses a gun. This is a cage match, as we all know. No weapons allowed.
He's been genetically engineered to be a hand-to-hand combatant.
Lobot's got a fucking computer head. He's able to download every single fighting style that the UFC has to offer and fucking master it within probably 90 seconds. Just has to buffer.
I'm pretty sure that Echo was the precursor to Lobot.
No way. How long is Lobot? Oh, wait, yeah.
If you...
Yeah. Because Lobot is... That's the thing about Bad Batch. Sometimes I get confused of when it is. And I should...
And that happened during the Clone Wars. They find Echo before...
Right, but we don't know how old Lobot is. He strikes me that he could be like 50. In which case, he might have had that shit on for about 20 years.
It depends on when they found him guilty and when he killed somebody.
All right, listen. I'll do it. Overall, I love the episode.
We didn't even talk about Ahsoka.
No, we're going to do Ahsoka next week.
Okay.
We're going to do a big Ahsoka preview next week. And then the following week, obviously, a big Ahsoka 2-episode premiere. We will certainly be giving the review. I mean, I'm very excited for Ahsoka. I feel like we've been hitting Ahsoka hard, and there's a good reason for that. But I also know that we're going to be hitting Ahsoka hard these next 2 weeks.
Okay.
So we're going to have a little Ahsoka break this week, and the next 2 weeks we're going to come back and hit the Ahsoka stuff hard because, yeah, man, the Ahsoka Tano show here in 2 weeks. Very excited for this. Dave Filoni making his live action, running the show. He made the live action debut as a director on The Mandalorian, obviously. But running a live action show should be pretty cool, I think.
Last week we talked about what you were going to rewatch after we finished recording.
Yes.
Did you end up rewatching it?
I did. And I did understand that they were talking about Thrawn. And I did not.
So they were talking.
Yes. But I did not understand it. It was very, very, hidden to me.
Remind the listeners again.
Mandalorian season 2, is it episode 5, I believe, when it's the one where Ahsoka, Mando meets her in the woods. She meets Grogu for the first time, tells everyone what Grogu's name is. She then fights that lady. Mando gets into a duel with the thing. But that lady is obviously going to be a big part of Ahsoka. And apparently they were saying that they were even discussing Grand Admiral Thrawn in that Mandalorian episode.
So it was.
And the first time that I saw it, I did not catch it.
But it's him.
It's there.
It's there. Okay.
It's there. Go check it out. You know what? great episode for the visuals.
Yes.
One of the coolest looking episodes that The Mandalorian's ever given us. All right. That'll do it.
Okay.
That's it.
That's it.
Okay? I can't,
Neither can I.
I just can't.
I know.
I can't do it.
Okay.
I can't anymore.
What, do Yaddle Chattle?
No. We got to do Yaddle Chattle.
Oh, okay. I thought that was my exit ramp.
Yeah, you would love any way to stop doing Yaddle Chattle. That's never going to happen. You're now signed up for 25 years. That's all. We have to make it to our 25th anniversary.
Jesus.
And then I'll consider letting you out.
Do you think?
We only have 24 years to go. We've been doing this for an entire, well over a year now.
Yeah, but what happens when
Year and a half.
What happens when Disney finally
Sells to Apple? Fucking Disney might actually sell their entire shit to Apple. Bob Iger, you never hear this?
No.
The rumor is Bob Iger is just like, you know what?
He can't do that.
We are fucking up so hard. Let's sell this whole thing to Apple.
No, I don't
What do you mean
believe
he can't do that? That is
I feel like
strong rumor,
I feel like the heiress, Disney's granddaughter.
No, because they stand to make. This could possibly be a $100 billion fucking transaction.
Jesus Christ.
And so you're saying like if there's 50 Disneys left, each one of you will get $1 billion. That's hard to turn down. And it's not like the name Disney's not going anywhere, so you'll still be a Disney.
I didn't hear that.
Yeah.
I don't know how true that is.
Apple wants to buy it. For years, though, people thought, well, that's just pie in the sky. So who cares if Apple wants to buy it? They're not selling. And Iger might be at the point where he says, you know what? Let's sell. Now's the time. That shocks you, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Would you sell Disney?
No.
I think, Disney could potentially be worth more than Apple. If they get their shit together. They do have all those parks and, the streaming and all the movies
Maybe
and
with
shit.
I don't know, with assets, maybe?
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right, well, listen. He's Jedi Jared. I'm Darth David. We love you so much, Yaddle Channel fans. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everyone.